Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I decided to give Malamar a go in the Go Battle League because I think it is a very flexible Pokemon, especially with the recent buff to Psywave. Psywave is basically a one-turn version of the fast move Shadow Claw, which I think we all know is one of the best moves in the game, so having a one-turn version of that is absolutely insane. It also has access to Foul Play and Superpower, so its coverage is fantastic, and I decided to pair it with Clodsire as anti-fairy coverage, and then also Dunsparce as our dedicated answer to Feraligatr. Let's take a look at the battles and see how this team can do. Let's hop right on into game number 1 and see what Malamar can find in the lead. Well, that is a fantastic way to test out Psywave. It is against a Tentacruel, and in comes a Clodsire Safe Swap, so ABA Poison, a great chance to test out Psywave here. It's chipping down this Clodsire so much. It's already down about a third of its health is gone because of this fast move pressure that we have. Shield Up an Earthquake, that's fantastic to see. We don't have super effective charge moves, but with how much damage our fast attacks are doing, it's going to put them into range where foul plays are going to start threatening here. One does get no shielded. I have another one loaded that I can throw right before they get another Earthquake. I want to either draw a shield or knock out this Clodsire. I don't really care about switch advantage this game because I know that Tentacruel in the backline has almost nowhere to go, but I also know that Malamar might just still have even more play if I can go for a full Psywave down. We shield up another Earthquake, so it looks like we probably can here. If we get all of this energy, we're going to be in a great spot to hopefully win this game, depending on what the final Pokemon might be. It is a mandibuzz. We have 2 core breakers to the Tentacruel and mandibuzz duo. All I have to do is superpower this, chip them down, come in with our dunsparce, and just start building up as much energy as possible. If they stay in here, throw the rock slide. If they try to swap and try to catch a move, then we're going to throw the drill run instead, do as much damage as we can to this Tentacruel. And even though that mandibuzz does have energy, our Clodsire in the back is looking primed to winning this backline. I also have another drill run already loaded. They shielded that first one, but this second one is coming through. They can never knock us out with a Scald plus Poison Jabs, at least nowhere near as soon as they'd like to. I'm easily going to be able to reach another drill run. It doesn't matter if they debuff us. It doesn't matter whatever move they're going to throw. We survive. Dunsparce able to hold on. We do get the attack drop, unfortunately, but that's not really going to matter. I think drill run is still such a strong move. We're going to be able to knock them out, take out this Tentacruel, and now that mandibuzz in the back, it might have a little bit of energy. It might have a little bit of health, but it's not going to want to see a Clodsire. We have energy left over on our Malamar as well. We can probably chip them down into range where one Stone Edge will knock them out, because unfortunately a Stone Edge only does, I think, about like 45-50% to mandibuzz, so if they're in the green health, I know a Stone Edge won't knock them out. Just chip them into range, or I know it will knock them out later on. And now Malamar, it has done its duty here. It's done so much work against this team. I could try to throw another Stone Edge or another Superpower, rather. I'm going to try to. I don't think it's going to be enough to knock them out. I wanted Malamar to have its time in the sunlight here, but unfortunately they do survive that move just barely. Clodsire can come in, try to Poison Sink down our opponent top left. GG's to them. Alright, Malamar in the lead against Gastrodon. So I guess if you're looking at my team, the first thing you might realize is those Mud Boys, the Mud Slappers especially, very tricky for my team. But I know this is the best spot for it to be in. I'm going to try to throw my foul plays, chip them down with our fast moves as well, and I'm going to try our best to make it so our backline doesn't have to deal with this Gastrodon. They do get to a move here. If this is an Earth Power, it might knock us out. If it's a Body Slam, we will survive. We no-shield the Body Slam, that's fantastic. We can survive another Body Slam at this point too. I know this is not an Earth Power. We can survive this, get to a Superpower, and take a shield advantage. I'm going to try my best to overfarm, get to the move. I thought I'd survive that Mud Slap. I didn't. That is now so bad. How do I take out this Gastrodon? I have no idea. At least they swapped out. They swapped instantly to their own Dunsparce here. I have energy lead into theirs, which means I always win this matchup. This is not looking great, though. How do I take out that Dunsparce, or the Clodsire? Our Dunsparce is going to be used up here against their Dunsparce. We are not in a great position right now, but I can win this matchup, hopefully have something to go against the next Pokemon that comes in. And even though that Gastrodon is still alive, it is kind of in range where I can knock him out with Stone Edge. If that is the case, maybe we can still win this game, but man, it would be so nice to have that shield advantage that we should have had this game if we would have just thrown that superpower when we had it. I am going to throw yet another drill run against their Dunsparce. I can reach the next one. I have to throw it immediately or else they're going to get their next move, and I want to knock them out. I want to make sure that our Clodsire does get to avoid this. Drill Run does come through, knocks out that Dunsparce. Back comes in that Gastrodon here. I'm getting the rollout damage. I get to this Drill Run as well. I know at this point, if I can fast move down this Gastrodon with Poison Stings, or if I can somehow just Stone Edge it, maybe there's still a chance to win this game if they are weak to Clodsire in the back. These Poison Stings are adding up. It's kind of crazy to say, but they're actually doing non-zero damage. I'm going to shield. A Water Pulse is shielded up. That's a lot of energy wasted by them, and in comes their final Pokemon. It's a Miltank. This is a very unique rollout user. It either has Thunderbolt, which is going to do nothing to me, or it has Ice Beam. Ice Beam is super effective against Clodsire. Very strong move. If they do have that attack, our Clodsire is in trouble this game. I'm going to shield just in case. I feel like this is the most likely Ice Beam if they do have it, and they do throw the Ice Beam. They reveal their moveset. It's going to be Body Slam and Ice Beam here. Clodsire, can you hang on long enough to get to these 2 Earthquakes to knock out this Miltank and still win the game? We have to keep in mind, their Gastrodon is still in the backline. I need to somehow take that out. I might be able to fast move them down, but not before they're going to be able to get to some extra moves here. They go for the Body Slam bait. I'm not quite sure why, but they did did go for it there, and now I can farm this thing all the way down. If they didn't bait us, I would have had to throw energy against this gastrodon, and now I will farm them down. I'll have an earthquake loaded for that Miltank later on. I don't think they're at the body sim just yet. No, they are not. We have the earthquake loaded. We can knock out this Miltank and take the game there. If they would have thrown that ice beam, this game could have been a little bit different, but it would have been a lot of energy for them, so it might have been still a win for me. I don't really know, but I'm very glad they played it out the way that they did. All right, the Malamar into Malamar mirror matchup. This is a very CMP dependent win, and the thing that I was really bad at really understanding today is that fighting is neutral against Malamar. We are a psychic and dark type Pokemon, which kind of counteracts the strengths and weaknesses of the fighting type. So even though Superpower might not seem like the move to throw, if you want to throw it, you can actually throw it and get to the next move a little bit earlier than the opponent. Although keep in mind, this game I was actually losing some fast moves here to these frame drops. Frame drops were so terrible for me today. I don't really know what was up with that. I lost like 1 or 2 sideways already, so my opponent is going to be ahead of an energy to me, but I know I do have my next Superpower. They were nice. They let me get to that foul play before they threw theirs, so I was able to take a shield advantage. Now we're going to CMP on this Superpower, either knock out this Malamar or do crippling damage to it to make it so it's not going to be a big threat to our backline. We do see that they shield up their Malamar. At this point, ours has done its job. We can no shield, let our Malamar go, and hopefully we can either farm them down with dunsparce or just farm them down or throw a move before they get to a lot of damage. Okay, I guess I also can come in with our Clodsire. That makes sense. They're debuffed, right? It means their fast moves do a lot less damage to us, and I could probably take a move through a Stone Edge. I kind of like that play too. Earthquake will come through against this Ozu. We don't have a hard answer to this Pokemon on our entire team here, so what I want to do instead of just like instantly swapping to Dunsparce is I want to chip them down with the Poison Sting damage. I want to get as much Earthquake damage as I can against them as well, and if I possibly can this game, I want to catch a move on our Dunsparce. I know they're just going to go straight Ice Beam now. Luckily, no Hydro Pump was shown from this Azumarill, so I want to do 1 Poison Sting, and then I'm going to catch. We also get that rollout through, which is huge. Not only do we have a shield advantage, not only do we get that catch, but we got a rollout, which means now we have energy advantage Dunsparce against whatever their backline Pokemon might be. This is almost certainly a superpower. It will knock us out if I don't shield it, and I don't think I can farm them down with rollouts just yet. It would be really nice if I could. I'm not going to risk it though. 1 more rollout I don't think would have been enough, and I was going to risk if they would have had a superpower that would have done crippling damage to our Dunsparce. In comes their final Pokemon here. What could it possibly be this game? It could honestly be anything, but it is going to be a Clodsire. Okay, not what we want to see necessarily, but I think we still have some play. Our Clodsire of our own is still around, and if I can reach this Earthquake before they reach their move, there is a chance we can win this game. I call the catch. I have the Earthquake loaded. As long as they're not at theirs and they don't win CMP, we should win this game. Earthquake, it comes through. Is this enough to knock out their Clodsire? We just have to hope at this point that it is. It does come through. It doesn't knock them out, though. They survive the move. I try to reach for the Stone Edge, but I don't quite get to it. They are going to throw a move. Is it an Earthquake? Is it a Stone Edge? They Stone Edge us. It knocks us out, unfortunately. Now Dunsparce is going to have to reach a Drill Run if I want to win this game. Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage. I have to survive not only this, but 2 more Poison Stings to reach my Drill Run. Is Dunsparce able to do it? Just barely hanging on with 1 HP. Dunsparce able to pull out the win here and sweep the backline. GG's to our opponent. That was about as close of a game as it could be. If we weren't losing those side waves in the lead, maybe it could have played out a little bit differently, but I did have to kind of play on my feet there. Alright, low kicks in lead. You might expect this to be a bug type. That's like one of the worst things for a dark and psychic type Pokemon, but it is running Sucker Punch, which is neutral. It is not running any bug type damage aside from charge move pressure, so I know I can go for the superpower, probably draw a shield here, and then come in with our Dunsparce. I know since they don't have any fighting type coverage, I mean, they used to have counter, but they don't anymore. I can just come in with our Dunsparce here, absorb any energy that they had, and then see what they're going to do. They actually swap into their own Dunsparce, which is fine for me to see. I like to avoid this with our Clodsire if we can help it, and I also have an energy lead, meaning I can get to 2 moves against this Dunsparce before they're even going to be able to get to a second move of their own, and I do have shield advantage in this game myself, so if I do want to start shielding up my Dunsparce, I also can do that. Another Drill Run is going to be thrown. It puts them down to about a third of their health left over. If I reach another Drill Run, I can knock them out. Unfortunately, our opponent, very smart counting. They knew I was about to reach that Drill Run. They throw their energy right before we get our move, and now we're going to have to make a tough decision. Who do we come in with? I'm going to come in with Malamar, actually. Can I get a shield and a full side wave down? I know it's a strong move. It's going to be really close, though, if I can possibly do that, and they don't even let me see if I can. They come back in with this low kicks here. I'm going to throw the superpower, try to get another shield from it, and they do end up shielding that. Now I can come in with our Clodsire, absorb all of the energy. It's just either going to be an X-Scissor or a Trailblaze. I think they showed a Trailblaze earlier this game. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a Trailblaze here. We survive that easily. We can overfarm a little bit, but I know these Sucker Punches are boosted. They're doing a lot of damage. It's basically the new counter here, but it's a dark type move, so it is doing a lot of fast and pressure. I wanted to knock it out before they get another move, so I can keep my shield advantage, so I can keep my energy lead a little bit here, and in comes that dunsparce. Luckily, we do get to a stone edge one turn before they reach another drill run. We can knock them out here, and now, depending on the backline, we should be in a good spot. It is going to be a Clodsire. This is fantastic. We have a little bit of residual energy, meaning we can always outpace them here to this Earthquake. It's going to do an absolutely massive amount of damage to their Clodsire, put them into range where our own Malamar is going to be able to finish off this game. Our only way we lose this game is if we end up shielding a Stone Edge bait, then they somehow Earthquake us, and we just lose the game that way. Luckily though, they do go for the Stone Edge, we call it, and now I can go for another Earthquake, knock them out here, and even if I didn't call that bait, I think we could have won this game anyway because Malamar was still around. I just didn't want to risk it at all. I knew that having a shield on Malamar could close out that game, and we ended up calling a bait in the process. All right, next game against a mandibuzz in the lead. Probably the worst case scenario lead here. We have only superpower to hit them with. I'm just going to swap out immediately, and we are met immediately by a gastrodon. This Pokemon is not what we want to see with our little dunsparce here. They are doing, or I'm doing almost no damage with our fast move. They're doing a lot of neutral damage with their mud slaps. They also could go for earth power here. It would do a lot of damage to us. I'm going to try to shield it up. Hopefully no body slam bait. It is not a body slam bait, luckily for us. And now if I can just start spamming out these drill runs, getting shields down, there might still be some play depending on that final Pokemon. I'm expecting, though, it's probably a Clodsire in the back. Mandibuzz Clodsire is one of the strongest duos in this entire meta right now, so if it is that, we're going to have a lot of work cut out for us this game, but an energy lead Clodsire could be key to winning this game. It looks like they did actually get a defense drop on that next Earth Power, but luckily we did shield up both Earth Powers properly. This is good because now we should be able to get both shields. We can throw a Drill Run, put this Gastrodon as low as possible, and even though you might expect Gastrodon to be a hard answer to Dunsparce, look at how much damage we've already done to them here. I'm going to catch the Body Slam on our Malamar. This way I can keep a little bit of our Dunsparce's health alive. If I need it for a catch later on, we can also use it as that, or maybe we can get to another Rock Slide or something depending on what they're going to bring in. In comes their Mandibuzz. They're going to overfarm as much as they can, and it is going to be a little bit unfortunate that they're going to have so much energy, but I know I don't want to throw a superpower before they're going to be able to debuff, or before I debuff my defense stat, because if I do, if I make it so they only have to throw one move to knock us out, that's going to be the worst case scenario. We throw a superpower now. I threw it on bad timing, but that's because they had back-to-back moves. I didn't want them to snipe down all of my superpower energy, because even though this damage isn't going to be that impactful, it is putting them very close. At this point, they are actually going to be in range where I would knock them out with a single Stone Edge from our Clodsire. I also know that if I come with Dunsparce, they can't snarl us down. They're going to have to throw in any energy here that they have to knock out our little Dunsparce. Our Clodsire can come in, absorb some Dark Pulses, and even though they have 3 Pokemon left over this game, I think there's still a chance we can win this. I do come in with our Clodsire, put down our Switch Clock to give us another opportunity to catch if we need it later on. They Dark Pulse us. What is their final Pokemon going to be? If they land another Dark Pulse here, we are going to be in range where if it is a Clodsire in the back, a single Earthquake could knock us out, which would be catastrophic if that is going to happen. What is their final Pokemon? There it is. The Clodsire is shown, and now I can see a win con this game. It's going to be a catch. If I can catch the Earthquake on our Malamar, we can still win this game. Is it going to be in the cards for us? We are going to do 2. We're going to catch the Earthquake, and now there might still be a chance to win this one. If they do knock us out, we're in a very good spot, but our opponent undercharges that move perfectly. They get 2 more Poison Stings here, meaning I can't overfarm anywhere near as much as I want to. I'm going to have to throw the Earthquake now, knock out this Clodsire right before they get the move, and now it's going to be a thing about energy management and watching for a catch to see if we can win this game. I need to land that move against this Mandibuzz, and I need to make sure that Clodsire, or that Gastrodon rather, gets fast move down before we're going to get knocked out. They come in with Gastrodon, we get the full fast move down, and now we can Stone Edge this Mandibuzz. I think we can still go for the Poison Sting down against that Gastrodon before they're able to reach another Earth Power, but they might reach a Body Slam. There's the timer. The timer is showing up for the first time in the entire season. First time I've ever seen the timer here. Will I win this game? Body Slam. We survive it. We have more HP. I could have Poison Stung them down, but we still win the game off of timer. GG's to our opponent. All right, Shadow Dragonite in the lead. A lot of the times you'd expect that Shadow Dragonite has a lot of play in these neutral matchups, but look at how much damage we're doing with our Psywaves here. We're doing as much, if not just a little bit more damage to this Dragonite than they're doing to us right now. We can go for this foul play, and here's the best thing about this matchup. We outpace them to the Superpower next, and even though Superpower is going to be resisted, with how much damage we're doing with our fast move, it's going to knock them out still. Now this Dragonite is going to have to either invest both shields or just get knocked out. Malamar winning the 1-shield matchup against one of the most oppressive Pokemon in those kind of scenarios. Alright, they do immediately just let their Shadow Dragonite go, and they come in with the Shadow Feraligatr. I didn't want to give them that farm down. I know this is a bit of a risky play coming in with our hard answer to the Gator immediately, but I figure at this point I kind of need to make something happen. They make a fantastic catch on a Ferrothorn. Things are now looking very bleak for us right now because they do have a lot of energy on that Feraligatr. They obviously can absorb a lot of energy from our Dunsparce with this Ferrothorn, and it's going to be down to our Clodsire and energy management and maybe some catches this game to see if we can have any chance at winning this. I can shield this up if I want to keep my dunsparce alive, and I feel like that might still be a good thing to do. I'm going to try to catch a power whip on our Malamar, but I think that they're going to overfarm perfectly. They do overfarm, but they don't overfarm enough. I think they were worried I was almost at another move, so even though they do throw this energy, they're only, I think, at one bullet seed right now. I can come back into their dunsparce, throw energy against either this Ferrothorn, or if they swap, I can throw energy into this feraligatr as well. We have 2 moves loaded. There is a good chance we can still win this game. They only have 1 bullet seed on that Ferrothorn. So even if I take a Hydro Cannon, as long as I'm going to be 4 Poison Stings away from getting to that next Earthquake, I can still win this game. What is my opponent going to do? They actually make a very smart play here. They take as much rollout damage as possible. This way they will give my Clodsire a lot less farm. If I could have farmed this all the way down, I know I instantly win the game. But unfortunately for me, they overfarm perfectly against our Dunsparce. They have a Hydro Cannon. Can I Poison Sting this down and reach my Earthquake? I got 4 Poison Stings. I'm 4 away. As I said earlier, that's all we needed to get the Earthquake right before they reach a Power Whip. We're going to knock out not only that feraligatr, but also this Ferrothorn here with our Clodsire, something that probably should lose both of those matchups, just overcoming them. GG's to them. All right, Malamar in the lead. Okay, that's not a good lead to see. A wigglytuff, probably one of the worst things that we could see with our Dark-type Pokemon, but we're going to Safe Swap Dunsparce, try to make something happen, and in comes the Gastrodon. We have played out this matchup, though, on the Safe Swap a couple times today. I've showed that Dunsparce can make it pretty close, and I think this game, what I want to do is I want to take shields down, because if possible, shields going down means I can land superpowers against that Wigglytuff, and my Psywaves are going to do a lot of damage. Superpower is probably going to do about half their health as well, so I just need to get shields down. I don't really care about Switch Advantage. I would love Switch Advantage, but I know I'm not going to get it. I do shield up on Earth Power properly, which is good for us to see. We land another move, and now I reach another drill run before they're going to throw any more energy at us. They should draw a shield from them, and I can probably get another shield. I can probably get both shields down if they end up letting this next move go, or if they end up throwing this and want to shield. I could shield this attack, but I think I'm going to go for the Psywave down against this Gastrodon, because they might have actually reached that body slam on CMP. So I'm going to go for the Psywave down. They tried to reach for another Earth Power. Luckily, they don't quite get to it. I'm going to Safe Swap Clodsire. What is the final Pokemon going to be? There is a small chance we can win this game. It's a Shadow Feraligatr. Clodsire does win the one shield matchup here, but we have to keep in mind they're still going to land a Hydro Cannon against us. If they can charm us down after this Hydro Cannon lands, we might still lose this game. They also have almost a superpower loaded on Mandibuzz, or on Malamar rather, and if we can reach that move and land a Stone Edge on this Wigglytuff, I think we win this game. They reach another attack here. It's going to do a crippling amount of damage. They actually overfarmed. I could have thrown my Earthquake one turn earlier, and I would have knocked out this Feraligatr, but I expected the CMP and tried to overfarm myself, and that was a bit of a bad play. I let them reach that move and one extra Shadow Claw. We get to this Stone Edge at the last second on damage registration error, a little bit of a glitch in the game. It's supposed to work this way, but a lot of the time it doesn't, where it would just charm you down before I get that move off. And the frame drops, kind of making up for me getting new mechanic there, making it so that they do end up getting this Icy Wind off before we can go for the superpower on good timing. Luckily, though, they did not have Disarming Voice. Who runs that anymore on Wigglytuff? Not this guy. We reach the superpower, it knocks them out, and we can take the win just barely with Malamar going for the superpower against the Wigglytuff. Alright, next game, the Ferrothorn in the lead. This is actually a pretty awkward lead matchup. You might expect it to be really strong for Malamar. You can see the frame drops are so bad today. It's just kind of hard to play through, but I'm trying my best here. I reached the superpower. We're almost at the back-to-back as well. This only does about 55% to a Ferrothorn's health, but they do end up shielding that first move because they don't want to let their Ferrothorn go down that low this early on. I will shield up this attack because I know that after that debuff, that move would do so much damage, way more than I'd like it to. I'm going to throw another attack here and then swap out to our Dunsparce. If it lands, a drill run will knock out. If not, then we're going to be able to double drill run them and hopefully win this game. Because honestly, even though these rollouts are resisted, you can see they are kind of chunking down this Ferrothorn's health. A Power Whip will be thrown against our Dunsparce. It doesn't two-shot us, but this is going to be a little bit awkward depending on their backline. But we still have almost a full health Malamar. We have a shield advantage, and they also, I guess, try to avoid or absorb energy on their Clodsire here. They keep their Ferrothorn alive, which could be a little bit tricky, I guess, later on. But we still have Malamar that can superpower them. We have the ability to Earthquake them because there's no shields left over in this game. And now our Dunsparce is going to try its best here to reach another drill run, but our opponent realizes that I would get to it. They throw an Earthquake. This probably will knock us out here, and oh, it doesn't quite knock us out. I can store that little bit of health on our Dunsparce, and then come with Malamar and get a full Psywave down. That is probably the best case scenario for us right now. What is their final Pokemon going to be this game? I guess we're not going to see it just yet. They come back in with Ferrothorn, and if this knocks out, we're in a great spot. If not, we can probably Psywave down. But we do need to shield because they do have this Power Whip. I'm going to shield this up. I think at this point, if it is like a Feraligatr in the back, having a bit of energy into that is going to be huge for us. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible, make it so they don't know quite where our energy is, and the superpower, it won't knock them out, but man, it's going to do a lot of damage. It will basically put them into fast move farm down range, and if they don't throw their energy, which I guess they had no idea where our energy was on Malamar, we reach another superpower. We can just get a full-on sweep here once again with Malamar, just taking out the entire team. That is crazy stuff. Our quads are not even needing to see the light of day that battle. All right, the Golurk. You might expect Golurk lead to be one of the best leads in the game, right? As a ghost type into our dark type. But you have to keep in mind these Mud Slappers are actually just kind of broken with what they can do. Mud Slap, a neutral move, a very high damaging move, and it actually generates a decent amount of energy here too. So they are going to be able to get these shadow punches off. It's going to be kind of scary if they get to 1 or 2, and if it does, it lands a dynamic punch. That is even worse for us. I should have shielded that move up. I thought they were always just going to spam out shadow punches there. But no, we are not going to resist that move. We get knocked out there. And now we're in a very awkward position where they have energy on Licky Licky. They have almost a full health Golurk alive. I've kind of misplayed this game pretty hard at this point. They don't have Earthquake though on this Licky Licky. That is one saving grace right now. But we're going to need our dunsparce to put in a lot of work this game. Frame drop making it so I only get a great on that Earthquake. But I guess I didn't want that damage anyway. I still two-shot them, so maybe I shouldn't complain too much. But I mean, it's also like, why don't I get all the bubbles? Frame drops are so stupid. They just got so bad recently. It's kind of sad because the new season is so fun, but it's not fun when you're playing through that. Anyway, a lot of body slams coming through from this Licky Licky. We get almost to 100 energy. Another body slam is going to land, but at this point, I can reach an Earthquake against that Golurk. I can try to get 2 shields to 0 for our Dunsparce, knock out this Licky Licky with a Stone Edge, and if they do come in Golurk, throw that Earthquake, come in Dunsparce, and hopefully still win this game somehow with Dunsparce sweeping the backline. They do come in Golurk. We survive those 2 Mud Slaps. We have the Earthquake. Golurk is so squishy, this probably would knock them out at this point if they end up letting it through, so our opponent decides that they are going to shield at this move, and now Dunsparce has so much work to do. I think a Drill Run might knock them out just with how much damage our rollouts are doing. Rollout is supposed to be resisted, but it's already done a decent chunk of its health. We shield up a Shadow Punch, not exactly the best play by me, but they go for another move immediately. I know they did not have enough energy for a Dynamic Punch, so we'll just no-shield a Shadow Punch and hope for the best with the backline. It's a normal type, it's a double rollout team with a Dunsparce of their own in the backline. I think we might have some play here still. We can reach the 3 drill runs before they get to theirs. With my rollout damage, that should be enough to knock them out. I have a shield, so I can take 1, I can shield 1, and I can outpace to the 3rd drill run. I also need to know that I can also get to a move against that Golurk, I think in 3 drill runs to be able to outpace them, and if I do that, I should be able to win this game. They dumped all of their energy before swapping out, which is incredible for us to see. Another drill run is going to come through. I have to shield something now, so I will shield up this move. I have the attack loaded of our own. Drill run will be thrown. They're not quite yet at another move, but this might not be enough to knock them out quite yet either. They do survive on 1 HP, unfortunately, and in comes that Golurk here. We reach the drill run. As long as this knocks out, we should be able to win this game. If it doesn't, if they get more Mud Slaps through, this will be very scary. It's enough to knock them out. We roll out down the Dunsparce, and somehow our own Dunsparce able to come back from a very bad situation. GG's to our opponent, Serperior, in the lead in this next game. Alright, a little bit of an awkward lead. Honestly, our whole team is a little bit soft to this Pokemon. I think our Clodsire is probably our best answer to this, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for the foul play. We pace evenly to the foul play. I actually outpace them if they're going straight Frenzy Plant to the superpowers, so I will reach the superpower here before they reach double Frenzy Plant, so I will throw this move, likely draw a shield, and then I'm actually going to try to tank the energy on Clodsire. I know Clodsire is very bulky. I can tank 2 Frenzy Plants here from full health, and these Poison Stings will start adding up. My Malamar is almost at full health as well. I still have my Dunsparce. I have shield advantage, so I think we're in a decent spot either way, whatever happens this game. In comes their answer to our Clodsire. I threw after 7, but a frame drop must have made it so I threw on bad timing there. They got a full rollout through, so I gave this a full 3 turns of energy for free. That is very painful to see, but I guess that's what happens. Drill Run won't knock us out, though. Drill Run is not exactly going to be the strongest move. Actually, it's a very strong move, but it's from a Dunsparce, so it's not that threatening, and I know that rollout is not going to be able to fast move us down. They throw a second attack before we're able to get another move of our own. Very smart play by them, so I don't have to, or so they don't have to shield. I'm just going to throw instantly with this foul play. I don't want to play any shenanigans with this Dunsparce. I want it out of the way. I know they have energy on that Serperior. Oh, but they end up shielding their Dunsparce. I'm going to catch the move at this point. I would rather keep a lot of health on Malamar, get an energy lead on Dunsparce, and absorb energy here. In comes their Serperior. We already have 2 rollouts. I can probably get to a Rock Slide before they're able to reach another Frenzy Plant, especially because they already threw one before swapping out. So if I just throw instantly here, I know they can never reach a Frenzy. I want to make sure that we don't take a huge charge move, and I want to keep my shield advantage if possible. They do end up letting their Serperior go. They don't have any shields left, obviously, and now we can drill around this Dunsparce. I guess they top left. They must be very weak to Dunsparce in the backline. GG's to our opponent. In the next game, the Bastiodon, you know it, you love it. I think you guys can expect the exact team that's going to be in the backline. The Shadow Victory Bell, the Wigglytuff. This might be the first instance of Grasshole in the new season. I think that these Pokemon are just so bad nowadays. Grasshole is nowhere near as powerful as it used to be. We reached 2 superpowers before Bastiodon's even able to reach 1 Stone Edge here, and these Smackdowns doing nothing to our health. The Smackdown nerf actually is making this matchup so bad for Bastiodon. Bastiodon not even able to take out a Psychic-type Pokemon here using Psychic-type Fast Move Pressure. Stone Edge will be shielded. I'm going to swap now. They actually swapped at the same time, but that's totally fine. I have a lot of damage for these rollouts. Look at how much damage we're doing just with Fast Move Pressure. We already reach a Dragonite. It's going to either take a shield here or put them easily into rollout downrange. They end up shielding that attack, which is fine, but depending on what charge move they throw, this could be a little bit awkward. A Leaf Tornado debuff would probably be the worst case scenario, which is exactly what they go for and exactly what they get. That's still fine. There's a chance we can still reach 2 drill runs and knock out this Victory Bell. If we can, then honestly, Shadow Victory Bell is so bad. Like, these Razor Leafs, not even that impactful here. We're able to get to 3 charge moves before getting fast moved down by a Shadow Victory Bell. That's almost unheard of in previous seasons. These Razor Leaf nerfs, these Smackdown nerfs, absolutely coming in clutch here. If it is that Wigglytuff in the back, there is no way we lose this game. Clodsire able to sponge all of this thing's energy, and we take the game by core breaking them in the back line. So yeah, Malamar is one of the most flexible Pokemon that they've added in recently. There are some tricky matchups that we didn't see a ton of today, like Azu in the lead's kind of rough. Mandibuzz as well is very hard to beat, but that's why we have the backline that we have. Very flexible picks here with Dunsparce and Clodsire, and honestly, this was a very fun team to use. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. I actually stream Pokemon Go PvP battles like this every day at twitch.tv/ItsAXN, so if you want to see this kind of content live, make sure to check me out there. Also, I'm going to upload a lot more to the channel, so if you want to see more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. Well, thank you again for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.